Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, Pro Cyclist mode, and we're into episode number 56. Coming off our near miss at the Giro d'Italia, a second place by a mere handful of seconds. We head now to the Criterium de Dauphine. 8 stages. The first one, rather short, 118 kilometers. It's a hill stage, and I'm actually the favorite. Doesn't seem likely. None of my team on a fitness peak. We're even short a rider right off the bat on stage 1, as much of the team is elsewhere. But it looks like Miguel Angel Lopez and Richie Porte are both here, so I'll have a decent amount of support.
Hello and welcome. The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing.
Leader, top of the overall standings. Other than Lopez, it looks like I've got everybody, but I'm sitting on a -2 condition today. Definitely takes me away from being a favorite, but hills are okay. Stamina resistance, not too bad. It should be okay today. Alright, so Cassart is here. I've had for wow, look how many guys I do not have control of. I have 2 out of 5. It's a little worrying. And of course, not being a Grand Tour, there's a limit of 7 in the first place, and then actually only 6 is what we end up with, and that's already a pretty large breakaway group forming up there.
Breakaway at the front.
So Lopez, definitely good support to have. Richie Porte, not what he once was, but he's still climbing at an 80. Hamilton's decent, especially for hills, so be okay. The Marquis, this is actually a stronger team, really, than what we had at the Giro, which affected me in a pretty negative way. As there is all kinds of grass all over the road. There we go. We're past it. Somebody sweep that road. Anyway, this is a pretty short stage, so I'm going to go at a faster speed here, but instead of cutting out, let's just stick with it, because this is really not going to take that long. The one problem I'm facing is there's way too many riders heading off the front. I mean, there's already 7 here, and there was about 8 off the front. So there's at least 15. Seven groups. Yeah, that's a lot.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the
Lopez is down. Oh, a bunch of riders are down. We got 25 in the peloton. Lopez has withdrawn. Are you kidding me? I feel sorry for you, bud, but why? Why me? Why is this constantly happening? Okay, moving on. Parada's here in the break, apparently. It's down to 11 riders off the front. The short distance that this stage seems to have led the peloton to never quite give up on chasing the breakaway, and so the breakaway never had enough freedom to come together. They never had enough freedom to establish a lead, and we're now down to just 7 riders. Looks like Aru, Roland are both here. Just 71 riders, and it's going to be a lot of climbing the rest of the way here. Quite a few people have withdrawn already, including one. He who shall not be named again, because now I'm down to just 5 riders. Only 4 support riders, and I'm supposed to win this race. Alright, we're going to go ×2 for this part. This is the climb of the day. Category 1.
A rider has just
Final
fallen.
climb's nothing, so it's really going to come down to this one. I think the fact that we're already down to 61 riders is just a good thing. They say that I'm the favorite, but I don't see any reason to suggest that I should be. Hamilton, you got nothing left. Why don't you just go up front and do a little pull. Just give your 99 to the top here.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
The Marquis supposedly pulling, but Hamilton's been out front, so he's not matching that pace. I want the points. I don't care about winning the race here. I'm just going for some points. You never know. Yeah, never know. Alright. Back off. Yeah, see now there's only 21 chasing. And I'm in a nice comfortable recovery here.
So this is the last third of the race. Anyone who is gunning for victory has got to make a move fairly soon.
This downhill is the only reason why nobody's caught us. And you can see they're recovering too, but not as quickly. Wow, more riders going down.
There's a collective fall with several riders on the ground. We can only hope that they all get back up. There's a report over the radio of a rider coming off his bike.
6 riders.
But apparently, he's back in the saddle.
22 riders. There we go. Got 2 sport riders here. That's good. Just definitely going to miss somebody that, like I said, shall not be named. Alright, speed up for a little bit. Shouldn't be any attacks right now. Group's too small.
Doesn't look too serious.
Be nice if those 19 don't come back, but they are very close. Sprint point. Michael Matthews. Okay. No worries there. It was 1 point.
Markers has given up.
Wow, 24 groups off the back. It's amazing how split up this field is, but a lot of that has come down to some crashes, and there could be some contenders that have been left out. Let's take a glance here. Dan Martin, Kwiatkowski, or not. This is not steep enough. I just got to be careful that nobody else attacks. This is a good way to see. Hamilton coming back up. We're back up to 40 riders now. I need Hamilton. Push the tempo. Back down to 32 riders. Go again here. He's off. Points earned. Mountain Climbers jersey. They're trying to come with me. Peloton just 18 riders. Right easy here for a little bit, huh? Recovery is going to be on here. Just a moment. There we go. Descend. Coast.
A courageous rider is looking to break away. falling behind.
Richie Port's going to get water now with 12K. Come on. We don't need water. We all have it. Even you have just a little bit left, but you're not out. I was about to set up a sprint train, and then Richie Port does the unthinkable. Wastes his energy, wastes our time, ruins the chance of setting up a sprint train. Let's see, your acceleration's a 74, sprint's a 60, demarquee is not better, so I still don't have any control though, with 7 kilometers to go. There we go. Okay, so Port coming back to the front. 99. Follow Port, who unfortunately wasted some energy. Marquis. It's 7K and it's uphill 5.5%, so I don't necessarily want to attack just yet. Let's go with like an 88 at the front. Alright, the others aren't coming back, so we're already down to 18. Means I've got 15 competitors really at this point. 5K banner.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
The Marquis hanging on, but Port is not doing terribly well behind him, so. Go 86 here. I'll go to about 2.7 on the energy gel as we are uphill here. So wait that a little bit longer. There we go. Okay, now speed it up. And you're gonna give me a lead out here. And I'm gonna go.
It's going to be very fast.
Too early, too early, too early. Ran out with about 60 meters to go. Enrique Mas takes the stage. Kamelshon second. Herman's third. Kwiatkowski fourth, so he came back. Chris Froome fifth. Those guys had been dropped. Dumoulin, Matthews, Aru, Yates. I got 10th. I think the best news, though, is there's just 18 riders. And then we've got the first gap, and then there's going to be more gaps. And so we just took out all but 15 competitors in a stage that really shouldn't have done this much splitting. I mean, there still should have been 30 or 40 riders at the end there. Maybe 50. 35K left to go here in stage number 2. We've got a double category 3 climb and then a relatively steep but short category 2 climb with a descent down to a short valley and the finish line. Breakaway group down to 8 riders. Was quite a bit larger earlier. A minute and a half is their lead. So they've got a little bit of a margin at this point. I was thinking about making a move first with the team on this double climb and then potentially myself, or at least with one support rider on the final category 2 climb. But you can see fatigue alone, the pace has been pretty high within the field, and even I am struggling a little bit with this one, so I have no intent of making a move. Peloton is shrinking, I wouldn't say rapidly, but it's definitely shrinking right now, as it was at full capacity outside of the breakaway group not so long ago. It's already down to 84 riders. See some acceleration from some quick step riders trying to do what I was trying to do and pushing the pace. So my 89 wasn't even strong enough. We're about to hit the first climb though, and we just split the peloton in half. 46 riders now. I'm going to go times 2 for a little bit. They're going to continue to do the same thing. That's 4 or 5 riders to push that pace. Actually, I'm even going to back off a little bit. They're not going anywhere. Roland trying to go ahead and hang on for a little bit longer from the break and maybe pick up some points. The descent coming up will allow for a little bit of recovery. Heart rate's pretty low right now, so I shouldn't be having too much damage done.
Attacked by Roland.
Points will already be distributed at the top, so there's no point for me to accelerate here.
Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
Alright, so 40 riders. I still have 3 riders, but all 3 are pretty fatigued. I'm recovering quickly here on this descent, even though it's not even very steep. The next one's a lot steeper than this. But a lot of riders won't be able to recover here. Now, the question is, do I want to carry out the game plan now that there are more guys? Let's do it, especially considering the state that I'm in. So, port, follow, well, I don't know, Demarquise -2. Yeah. We'll follow Hamilton. And not quite yet, but we're going to put him right towards the front here in just a moment. There's the target point. Let's go with an 87 initially. That's a pace that I can certainly handle without any ill effect. Can you get to the front though? There you go. Okay, let's make sure everybody's on. No, I'm not. But again, like I said, I can handle the pace, so. It's already down to just 1K to the top, so let's push this a lot harder here. I could try to steal this point, but that's okay. Oh, my teammates are barely making it over the top here, but over the top they will make.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Got one rider left off the front. That's Roland. He's got a 40-second gap. Hamilton, not much left here. He's going to be done. Settling in here, trying to stay with the group. 18 riders, we just split again. 4.5K. $3K.
And they keep on attacking. Anyone that's low on gas
Support.
definitely won't
Your
be able to
turn.
keep up.
And let's sprint. 1K.
A team leader is falling.
There's Roland. We're going to get past Roland. Hamilton! Hamilton! Come on, Hamilton! Take the stage! Take the stage!
He managed
Ah, Rue. I got third, though. That's worth a few seconds. That's worth a few seconds. Roland takes fourth. Just missing out on the stage win from the break. So Fabio Aru, he's a pretty decent sprinter. Hamilton, great job for him to pull that off. Especially considering the role he was playing moments ago. I take third. That's a good result. And again, splits in the field is going to open up some time caps. We'll see how much smaller the group is left at the top of the standings after just 2 of 8 stages, with neither one being the kind of stage that's really supposed to split the field. I think those behind us will be on the same time, so I don't expect a big split. But there was definitely a split at 18 riders. Apparently, it's 31 though. So, how are we looking here now? Moss and Aru, 2 stage winners. Calvin Jean picked up some bonus seconds. Hermans and I with thirds. Hamilton lost time last time, so that's actually why. So Calvin Jean was second, and the 2 thirds. Hamilton, who took second this time, lost time on the first stage. That leaves us with 15 riders at the front. Port and DeMarquis were 30 seconds down overall, so they lost a little time. There's Hamilton and his separation. There you go. So it's down to 15 riders. So I think we only lost one of this group this time. But there's 4 bonus seconds, so I'm on my way. Tiredness has really gone back down to 4%. Freshness still not quite there, though. Fitness is rising back up. Fitness peak, I'm already halfway up. Fitness is 97%. The worrying thing, though, is I could be on my way to completely screwing over myself for the next Grand Tour, the Tour de France, which I have not been to yet. I have not raced it, so I'm gonna have my work cut out for me. Especially if I miss the fitness peak again. It would be nice if I hit the fitness peak this week, had it gone, and then had it hit again late in the Tour de France. I mean, this is a pretty quick turnaround, but I don't know if I can manage another quick turnaround on the fitness peak. So stage 3 here, 160 kilometers. 2 minor climbs. We're really looking at a sprint finish, so why don't we just go to the final climb, and then whatever sprint finish there's going to be. I think we'll have a pretty large group. Those 2 climbs, they'll leave some people behind. You know, maybe 40, 50 riders will get dropped, depending on the pace. We're back to a neutral race day condition, and actually back into some positives after that nice 3rd place. But again, I don't expect any action besides what's going to happen here. It should be a high pace. It's definitely not very steep either. So 25 kilometers remaining here in stage number 3. Just the climb ahead of us. Breakaway group has split apart. And I actually thought for a little bit they might stay away, but that has not been the case. They've been reeled back in. The last 4 riders are just a little bit further up the road here. The unfortunate news for me, my plan here was to run a sprint train, use that up this climb to split the field up a little bit, and then, you know, have 1 or 2 guys left to maintain and serve as a lead out. But as you can see, Richie Port's the only one that I actually have any control over right now, even though all of them were given the role of teammate. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, but it is what it is.
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
Go times 2 here. We've got 4K to the top. See, now Kwiatkowski's attacking because I have no support.
Counter-attack by Marcato.
There you go, Port. There you go. Do your job. No, I don't want you to go over to him. We've reeled him back in. $2K to go. I'm doing minor damage to myself here, but it's preventing the attacks. And it should get me over the top first. I'll pick up a few more points here. And then I can recover on the descent. And you see it's done some damage here, actually, even as we hit the top. There's just 23 riders now.
The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
Now, where's my support? DeMarquis protecting Hamilton. Okay. Again, I was leader and everybody else was teammate, yet that's been the exact opposite of what's happened here on this stage. But I'm recovering, and it's essentially downhill all the way to the finish, so we'll have our little sprint, and it looks like 39 riders are coming back on because, well, without that team support, yeah, you get what you get. We couldn't attack on the descent, and we let most of the field come back at us. Oh, really? And now Ben Hermans is going away. DeMarquis, go 99, please. Reel that guy back in for me. $2K. Gotta get towards the front here. We don't get left behind. Herman's still off the front. And sprint. Sprint, sprint, sprint. He's caught. Hamilton's to the front. He's not going to win, though. Katusha rider, Bonifacio. Jay McCarthy takes second. Seneschal, Yates, Hamilton all the way down to fifth. Millard, Aru, Kalmajan, Harada, and Hermans. I'm just outside of the top 20, 26th.
More souls bringing up the rear continue to cross the line. It's a bit of a knock for the morale.
Again, 60 riders here, so nothing probably gained or lost in any way. So we move on to stage number 4.
And here are a few of the key moments.
Tom Dumoulin and I are the potential stage winners. There are plenty of good time trialists at this race. And I'd say I'm banking just a little bit more than I'm expending here at a 74, so we'll try 75 and try to keep it right about level. I do want to have just a little bit left for the final push, the final kilometer. Last time out, I lost by 2 seconds to Tom Dumoulin. And I think I'm staying right about level here, so I see a slight incline coming up. Once I get over that double incline, I'll back off to a 74. Yeah. So, first checkpoint. This is 10 of the just over 30 kilometers. And how are we looking? Fifth, 21 seconds down. Am I really that far off the pace? Tom Dumoulin in the lead. Richie Porte, second fastest at this point. Nelson Oliveira is third. I'm fifth. Wow. Okay. Not looking so good on that front with Tom Dumoulin. Tom Dumoulin is just 4 seconds down from me in the overall standings. And in terms of energy, I'm right where I need to be. So I think I might bank just a little bit with a 75, but this should get me pretty close to the end with just that little bit left to push the final 500 meters, 600 meters or so. So Richie Porte crosses the line in 15th. Cassart is actually 7th still. We still have one more checkpoint to go, which is what we're looking at right now. Tom Dumoulin just crossed the line. He is 18 seconds quicker than my teammate. Oliveira is 3rd. Remember, I was 5th at 21 seconds at the first checkpoint, and that time did not change after the last 4 riders. So I'm 5th right now in the standings, so the last 4 riders cross the line, and they're all behind me, so it's really down to Dumoulin and I, theoretically, right now. Still 5th, 37 seconds. I drop another 16 seconds to Dumoulin here, and I don't have the extra energy to get away from him, so I think he's going to be moving into the race lead. The big trick, though, is how are the times at the end. Oliveira is quickest, but Porte and Dumoulin have not crossed that line yet. Oh no, Porte has. Porte dropped a bunch of times, so Porte ran out of energy. That's what I need to be careful to avoid here as I come up on Simon Yates. So that's really good news. I'm passing him on the road, which means I'm gaining a lot of time over Yates. In real life, Yates has worked a lot on his time trialing ability, and it's starting to show this year. 4 kilometers left to go. I have just that little bit of banker energy. Dumoulin Okay, so Dumoulin does hang on to the time. He goes under 39. He's half a minute clear at the top, and that's why he's the big threat at this point with 2 kilometers to go. I should probably fit into second place here. 1K, 84, 99. Second place. Okay, that's what I expected. 22 seconds down. So I did pull back 15 seconds on that final little push, having that little bit more left, but I actually still ran out just before the finish line of energy and wasn't able to get the full push that I wanted. But that was the right distribution. Tom Dumoulin's best time trialist in the world, so second place. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Let's start checking on these guys. Calmejean, minute 20 down. Enrique Mas, tied for the lead. Points jersey, 2:47. Actually, didn't even see Calmejean's time. Calmejean's the one in the green jersey. So Dumoulin will move ahead of me, but it looks like I will be moving into second overall. There you go. Moss 4:25. Aru, the race leader, 2.5 minutes down at the second check. 3:50. So big gaps opening up behind. Actually, really don't have any threats within a minute and a half, other than Dumoulin. So we're looking like potentially head-to-head here for this race title down the stretch. Yeah, there you go. Degen's a minute and a half down. Herman's minute 45. Kwiatkowski, there you go. Closest threat there, minute 47. Calmejean, Franchini, O'Connor, Froome, and Port. So Port's even into the top 10. But I'm very comfortably into second. And 19 seconds is not that far behind Dumoulin. So second on the stage, second overall, 6th in the sprints, leading the mountain climbers, leading the under 25s, and we lead the team competition as well, which has been a rare feat for me in this pro cyclist competition throughout this series. 15 points, it's a little bit better. The manager's satisfaction has been waning a little bit here, but fatigue just about gone. Freshness is hanging on. Like I said, that fitness peak is getting closer and closer. I'm a little bit nervous about it hitting too soon, though, and July right around the corner. So I'm actually really hoping, at the rate we're going, that we just hit it this week sometime. That we improve that much, hit it this week, and get it over with, have it be done, and then have it come back mid-July. That would be amazing. I don't expect that to happen, but maybe. By the way, Miguel Angel Lopez, patellar tendon tear. Ouch. Very ouch. We still have some stuff going on, obviously, after the Dauphiné, Tour de Suisse, US Championships. Here's a stage now that would really favor me. Dumoulin, of course, is a contender, but this is absolutely my kind of stage with straight up to the finish line. Short stage, too. We're going to skip towards the end of the stage, and we'll get that final climb in. Here we are on stage number 5, breakaway group just ahead of us. We're about to make contact, 13 riders there. The peloton itself is actually down to 43. The intensity of the stage has definitely done some damage. I've got my full team minus Cassart here, but just now we have split again, just 23 riders. And Hamilton and DeMarquis have been left behind. Richie Porte, the only one left hanging on, and see that he's actually struggling a little bit on that. So 10 riders left of that break. Now just 3 riders left, and it's back together again. So 29 riders, and a good 10 plus of those are from the breakaway. So it's a pretty small group. Now, I am a little bit fatigued. And if I'm fatigued, I know that almost everybody is. So no one is full strength for this climb coming up, though I am recovering quite quickly and happy to, because others I don't think are going to recover quite as fast. You can see, like, Richie Port isn't recovering. I suppose that's not necessarily saying a lot. Kwiatkowski right to the front. There's DeGant, Bowman. But pace is really slowed here. It's going to come back together a lot. But without the numbers, there you go. There's the one more. DeMarquis. Go to the front. Could you please? Could you? If only for a moment. DeMarquis. Come on. Get through the crowd. Really? You're out of energy already. The pace is so slow. Just go 99 and push whatever you got. Oh, Port's doing that. Oh, great. Now I have no support. There we go. DeMarquis to the front. You guys both just kind of go. Whatever you got, just give something. Okay, why am I going backwards? Really? It's 49 riders. The number has grown a lot. I want to attack, but it's way too early to do that. You can see that top section, that steepest section at the top. That's where I'd like to go. That's where I would prefer to go. I would imagine somebody's going to try to attack before then, and I might have to cover it down. Speaking of, why don't we... you guys are taking turns pushing the tempo, though. Let me do it like 86 style. No, fine. Just go. We'll try 85. See what kind of pressure you can keep on the field, even though you're both out of energy, just pure climbing ability. We should be able to drop some of these riders like that. And as long as nobody else is attacking, then I'll be in good shape. Get a better view from here. So when we go to turn, corners are the ones that I worry about. Franchini pushing for Katusha. That's expected. Dumoulin is the race leader.
The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage.
No damage done yet. Here we go. Fabio Aru.
Counter-attack by Simon Yates.
Group of 6, group of 4. Carapaz, Yates. And now it's a group of 4. Half a minute, and Dumoulin is well behind. Yates, how far down are you? 3:17. Yeah, you could go. I'm clear of Dumoulin. I need to keep an eye where on the road he is, though, and well over a minute behind. So Yates can go and win the stage. I don't mind one bit. There is the peloton now, and Dumoulin's in it. So that's the group I want to keep behind. If they start getting close, that's when I think about going. I have the spot that I want to go at, though, and it's not far away now. It is not far away. Let's go ahead and use the gel. Is this it? Around this corner? Not quite.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
I'm loving this, though. Aru. Next corner. Next corner is mine. Peloton, 10 riders. They are close. And we just left Carapaz behind. And we caught Yates. And opened up some gaps behind us, did we? Okay. Got to start thinking about stage 1 here. 3 riders. 1.5 kilometers. The Mulan 34 seconds behind. 1K to go. Not attacking, just...
And they're off! It's going to be very fast!
Now sprint, sprint, sprint. That's second. Yates gets the stage, that's okay. I got second. Aru third. What's the gap? Already 40 seconds. 45. 47. 48. 50 seconds. Demulan 50 seconds down. That'll put me into the race lead. I'll have a time bonus, 6 seconds. Here we go. On top. 3 stages still to go, though. This race is far from over. But overcoming Demulan's advantage in the time trial was going to be a big step. And with that done, now I've got a jersey to protect. But that's all the time that I have for this one. So we'll go ahead and call it right there. So that's it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.